Hey there, it's Diane. Thank you for taking a few minutes to be here. I want to start with a story from my early leadership days. And this is a moment that shifted everything for me. There was a person on my team who was very capable, very smart. And whenever I'd give direction, they would nod, they would agree, and then they would seemingly go off and do something completely different. And so at first I brushed it off. I was thinking, okay, well, they're busy, that's fine, but it kept happening. And each time something small inside me kind of just had this little grab like of discomfort. And so one morning on my drive to work, I caught myself thinking something that I didn't want to admit, right? I was like, why do I need to repeat myself so many times? And why does it feel like nobody, sometimes it feels like nobody, or that people are not listening to me? And that hit me so hard because it wasn't just a sense of frustration. It was a feeling of doubt. It was that kind of a little grab inside. It's like, am I actually being effective here? Do these people respect me? And do I even have that kind of connection and influence anymore, right? And so here's the truth. A lot of us high performers don't talk about, and it's not because that we're hiding it, but because we're so used to being like super strong. So when people don't listen to you, it just quietly chips away at your confidence. And so it's not your skills, it's not your intelligence, it's your sense of influence. And influence is the real fuel of leadership because without it, everything feels harder. It feels like that you're pushing, you're reminding, constantly following up, and and honestly, it is super draining. Not necessarily physically, but mentally, right? And so what I learned is this: when people don't listen to you, it has very little to do with your title or the hierarchy in your organization. And it has everything to do with your presence, right? So your presence is the thing that people respond to before you ever say anything, right? But when your mind is cluttered, if you're carrying too much, and if you're running on a sense of pressure instead of having that grounded, calm confidence, then your energy weakens. Your influence kind of starts to fade because and all the people around you start to feel it, right? And so here's what people or what leaders think the solution is. Okay, I just have to be clearer. I need to be firmer. I need to try harder. Hey, I'm the boss. I need to hold them accountable, right? But if you have any experience like I have had, pushing harder makes it worse because influence does not come from pressure or pushing. It comes from presence. And presence can really shift things fast and way faster than most people think. So because when I work with a lot of high level leaders who don't have time for long programs, certifications, or endless training, what I've created is something simple, focused, and fast. And I'm calling this like the 3-week influence mini challenge. And so no, like this is not some kind of group thing. It's not a webinar. There's no extra meetings. The way I've created this is very specific to your needs. So there's 3 private one-on-one sessions with me. There's 1 per week at the beginning of your week for 30 minutes. And each session is designed to create one specific shift that changes how people respond to you. So this is kind of like in real time inside your actual work week. Okay. And so just for an example, so week 1, it's all about shifting your internal presence so people can begin to feel you again and start listening without you having to repeat yourself. In the second week, we work on strengthening your leadership signal. So this is the part of you that people genuinely trust, they connect with, and they respond to. It's a big deal. And then week number 3, we remove some of the kind of a little blind spots or invisible habits that dilute your influence, and then replace that with some simple behaviors that really will make a massive difference, that you could use every single day. So it's not about theory, it's not about some kind of fluff, it's real world work. 3 targeted shifts that help you to feel stronger, clearer, and definitely more respected and connected to the people that you lead. And it's also not about emotional unloading, right? It's very, very specific targeted shifts, specific to you, customized to you and your experience. And that's why I designed it to be one-on-one private service. And so the way I've priced this is $297 Canadian for all 3 sessions. So if you're in the US, that would be roughly about 40% less because of the exchange rate. So it's really like an absolute no-brainer, right? Because the real value is not the price. The real value is getting your influence back without having to spend months working on yourself or somehow getting through your days pretending everything is fine when you know it isn't, right? So if you're interested in the details of this 3-week challenge, then send me a private message with the word listen, and I'll send everything over to you. And if you're watching on LinkedIn, you can comment below or send me a DM, and you can feel free to email me as well, and I will put that information below. And so here's the key thing. If you're a high achiever, if you're somebody who's a healthcare leader, and somebody who knows that you are capable of having more influence without having more stress, this is the fastest, cleanest way to get there. And I would love to walk with you through this, okay? So here's the truth. You do not need to push harder. You do not need to do more hours. You don't need yet another certificate. What it is that you need is your presence back. And when that shifts, your whole team will shift with you, and fast. So message me, listen, if you want in.